Hello everyone. So after studying the concepts on invertible functions and some of its properties, so now it is time to focus on some questions, right? Questions based on the concept of invertible functions, right? So here today's class is about most important questions on invertible functions. Okay, so I have taken the first question is very simple one. So I have taken a linear function and I will show you how to find f inverse by using both the methods. First method is by using the concept of bijective function directly, and second method is by using composition of the functions, right? So both the method you are free to take any one of the two methods, right? So first method I will just now show you how to do it. So we are given f is a function from R to R, fx equal to 3x plus 4. My first part of the solution is to show f is 1 1. Okay, so to show f is 1 1 means distinct pre-images should have distinct images, or in other words, if images are equal, pre-images are equal. So let x1, x2 belongs to set of real numbers. Set of real numbers means here domain of the function which is given in the question. Let fx1 equal to fx2. What is fx? 3x plus 4. fx1 is 3x1 plus 4. fx2 is 3x2 plus 4. It means 3x1 equal to 3x2, which gives us x1 equal to x2. So if images are equal, pre-images are equal, means fx1 equal to fx2 implies x1 equal to x2. This means, so this implies f is 1 1. Okay, second part of this is to show f is onto. So to show f is onto, you have to show range of the function equal to codomain of the function. Here codomain of the function is set of real numbers. It means we have to check whether the range of the function is equal to set of real numbers, codomain or not. And also to find range of the function, you have to find set of all values of the function. It means range of a function is set of all values of the function, yes, set of all y. Okay, it means set of all y for which x belongs to its domain. So while getting range of the function, the basic question you have to ask to yourself, for what value of y x is defined, for what value of y x belongs to the given domain. So let y equal to fx equal to 3x plus 4. So this implies 3x equal to y minus 4, x equal to y minus 4 by 3. Okay, so here ask the question to yourself, for what value of y x belongs to its domain, means for what value of y x is a real number. So here you can say for all y belongs to R, x is defined. For all y belongs to R, x is a real number. So whenever we say for all y belongs to R, it means y is the set of all real numbers. So you can say range of the function which is taken as set of all y, that is equal to set of real numbers. This is also equal to codomain of the function. So it means f is 1 1. We have done it earlier. Now we are proving f is onto. Okay, so this is the way to prove how f is an onto function. Okay. So after proving f is 1 1 and 1 2, we can conclude f is bijective. So to prove f is invertible, so this implies f is invertible. So f is invertible means inverse of the function exists. Second part of the question is find f inverse. Okay, and as you know, whenever we write y equal to fx and fx is invertible, this implies x equal to f inverse y. Okay, so now x equal to f inverse y, right? And the portion where we have proved f is onto, in that portion we have got x equal to y minus 4 divided by 3. So here x equal to f inverse y, which is y minus 4 by 3. So it means f inverse y is y minus 4 by 3. Okay, but if the question is find f inverse x, if the question is simply find f inverse, you leave the answer here. But if the question is find f inverse x, then you have to be specific to the variable. F inverse x would be x minus 4 by 3. The way you have got no f inverse y is y minus 4 by 3. So if it is f inverse x, it would be x minus 4 by 3. If the question is find f inverse 1, then you would have taken 1 minus 4 by 3 means minus 3 by 3, that is equal to minus 1. Okay, so you have to very specific to the needs of the question, right? So this is about how to find f inverse by using the first method. So I'll show you the second method also, so that you will be able to identify which method is easier for you, which method is very convenient to you. So now I will tell you the second method, means using composition. So here let y equal to fx equal to 3x plus 4. Okay, straight start with this. So this implies your 3x equal to y minus 4, or you may write x equal to y minus 4 by 3. Let it be gy. Okay, so we are taking it as gy. So next we will take g of fx. Okay, in composition method we have to show if g of f equal to f of g equal to identity function, then they are invertible and g will be the inverse of f. So g of fx equal to g of fx. So g of fx equal to 3x plus 4. So g of 3x plus 4. What is gy? Gy is y minus 4 by 3. If you write g1, 1 minus 4 by 3, g5, 5 minus 4 by 3, g 3x plus 4, that is equal to, this y will be replaced by 3x plus 4 minus 4 by 3. You are getting 3x by 3 equal to x. It means you are getting g of fx equal to x, implies your g of f is ix. Okay, similarly f of gy equal to f of gy. F of gy is y minus 4 by 3. Now fx equal to 3x plus 4. f1 3 into 1 plus 4. f2 3 into 2 plus 4. f of this equal to 3 into whatever we are having here. So 3 into y minus 4 by 3, then plus 4. So you are getting here y minus 4 plus 4, means you are getting y. So f of gy equal to y. F of gy equal to y means you are getting f of g equal to iy. Okay, so here g of f equal to ix and f of g equal to iy. So after proving g of f equal to identity function, f of g is also identity function, right? You can write here g of f equal to ix, f of g equal to iy, or you may write here g of f equal to f of g equal to identity function, which proves f is invertible. Okay, so this implies f is invertible, and so that is first part of the question, find f inverse. And so f is invertible, this implies f inverse exists. So what is f inverse? So you have y equal to fx. Okay, so this implies x equal to f inverse y, that is your gy. Okay, we have found x equal to gy, we have taken, if you have seen it. So gy we have taken what? It was y minus 4 divided by 3, right? So your f inverse y equal to y minus 4 by 3. Okay, so this is about the second method. So I hope second method is much more convenient than the first one, where you don't have to write elaborately, write the reason of why, I mean it is onto or what. Okay, here straightforward, you can start the question like this. Okay, our second question is, I have taken a quadratic function. Consider the function f from r plus, means it is set of non-negative real numbers to the interval minus 5 infinity, right? Minus 5 included, defined by fx equal to 9x square plus 6x minus 5, right? We have to prove f is invertible, hence find f inverse. So whenever it is prove that f invertible, you are not given f is bijective. So if the question is prove that it is bijective, then you have to show it is 1 1 and on 2. Okay, so now it is given f is invertible, then you have to find f inverse. Okay, so in that case, so it is your call whether you are using first method or second method. I will show you the second method here. So we have y equal to fx equal to 9x square plus 6x minus 5. We are taking the second method. So straight we will start from here. So y equal to this. So here we have to find what? First step is what is x, right? X equal to gy. So y equal to this. This implies 9x square plus 6x minus 5 minus y equal to 0. Right? So in quadratic equation case, I mean whenever you are having quadratic function, so you may write like this. So you are getting 9x square plus 6x minus of 5 plus y equal to 0. This is quadratic in x, and a equal to 9, b equal to 6, c equal to minus of 5 plus y. So x equal to minus b means minus 6 plus minus under root b square 36 minus 4 a, c is minus of this, so it will be plus, and divided by 2a. We are using quadratic root formula, I mean quadratic equation formula. So you are getting here minus 6 plus minus 36, here you have 36, it can be taken out, so it will be 6 under root 1 plus 5 plus y divided by 18. So you are getting x equal to, so 6, I think you can cancel it, minus 1 plus minus under root y plus 6 by 3. Okay, and what is our domain here? Domain is set of all non-negative real numbers. So it means x cannot be negative. Okay, so here you can write, this implies x equal to under root y plus 6 minus 1 divided by 3. It is because x belongs to set of non-negative real numbers. So this minus 1 minus of this we are neglecting. We are considering minus 1 plus under root y plus 6 by 3. So it means this is x and this can be taken as gy. Okay, is it visible to, just let me write it here. Okay, so this is your gy. Okay, our next step is we have to prove f of gy equal to y and g of fx equal to x. So if f of gy equal to y and g of fx equal to x, it means both f of g and g of f are identity functions. So f is invertible and its inverse will be gy. Okay, so this is the procedure. Okay, let's complete it. So we have gy, so as we just discussed, so f of gy and g of fx we have to find. So f of gy means f of gy, right? So that is f of gy equal to what? Under root y plus 6 minus 1 by 3. So this is equal to f of this. So go back to fx. Fx equal to 9x square plus 6x minus 5. F1 would be 9 into 1 square plus 6 into 1 minus 5. So whatever you put here, x will be replaced by that. You are putting this thing here. It means it would be 9 into under root y plus 6 minus 1 by 3 whole square plus 6 times under root y plus 6 minus 1 by 3 minus 5. Okay, so simplify this. Now it is 9 times, it is y plus 6 plus 1 minus twice of under root y plus 6 divided by 9 plus 6, 3, 2 twice of under root y plus 6 minus 2 minus 5. So you are getting here y plus 6 plus 1, y plus 7 minus twice of under root y plus 6 plus 2 into under root y plus 6 minus 7. So very beautifully you are getting all the things cancelled except y. So you are having f of gy equal to y. It means f of g is, you are getting here f of g equal to iy. Clear? So next we will prove g of fx equal to x. So g of fx, so g of fx is 9x square plus 6x minus 5, g of fx. So here you see g of y equal to under root y plus 6 minus 1 by 3. So whatever you keep here, that will replace y here. It means gy, in place of y we are having 9x square plus 6x minus 5. So here it would be under root 9x square plus 6x minus 5 plus 6 minus 1 divided by 3. It means you are getting here 9x square plus 6x plus 1. Okay, divided by 3 here. See, just have a look at it. 9x square plus 6x plus 1. So this is, I think, 3x plus 1 whole square. So it means you are getting 3x plus 1 whole square under root of this minus 1 by 3. It means 3x plus 1 minus 1 by 3. So here it is 3x plus 1 minus 1. So 3x by 3 is x. So you are getting here g of fx equal to g of fx equal to x. It means g of f equal to ix. So f of g and g of f both are identity functions, right? Then the function is invertible. So because we have both the compositions are identity functions, means f of g equal to I, g of f equal to I. So f is invertible. So f is invertible means what is its inverse? And we know inverse of f will be g in this case. So this implies that f inverse y equal to gy. So gy is under root y plus 6 minus 1 divided by 3. Okay. So this is the inverse of the function. So even if it is quadratic, you may think it is huge, but with this invertible case, see, you don't have to struggle much for proving it onto, right? But if the question is prove that it is bijective, so in that case it is mandatory to take the bijective condition. You don't have any choice in that question. So I will take one more quadratic taking bijective concept. See the third question. Consider f from r plus. So here it is set of non-negative real numbers to minus 9 infinity, minus 9 inclusive, given by fx equal to 5x square plus 6x minus 9. Prove that f is bijective. Okay, here the question is not, it is invertible, right? So whenever the question is prove that it is invertible, you can show it is bijective, hence it is invertible. Or you can take the composition case, right? F of g, g of f, identity function, then you can show it is invertible, then get f inverse. But here specifically you are given, you have been asked prove that f is bijective. Means you show that function is, 1, 1 and on 2, right? So yeah, so to take, so it, and remember it is quadratic expression you are given. So taking like this, yeah, so fx equal to 5x square plus 6x minus 9. So what I am going to do here, I am just trying to make it perfect square. Okay, so that is one method you can try. It sometimes in quadratic case, it really becomes easier for us. So if I write here, take 5 common, means x square plus 6 by 5x minus 9 by 5. So if I write here 5 x square 2 into x 3 by 5, right, plus 9 by 25 minus 9 by 25 minus 9 by 5. Okay, so you can take here 5 times, it is x plus 3 by 5 whole square and minus of this becomes your 54 by 25. It means you are getting 5 into x plus, so this is basically 5 into, yeah, so x plus 3 by 5 whole square minus 54 by 5. Okay, so this is fx, and you have to show it is 1 1, then you have to show it is on 2. Okay, so let x1 x2 belongs to set of all non-negative real numbers, and fx1 equal to fx2. fx1 equal to fx2 implies 5 times x1 plus 3 by 5 whole square minus 54 by 5 equal to 5 times x2 plus 3 by 5 whole square minus 54 by 5. Okay, so this will be cancelled. Now here you are getting 5 into this equal to 5 into this. So you have 5 times x1 plus 3 by 5 whole square equals to 5 times x2 plus 3 by 5 whole square. Over to this place. So 5 cancelled. Now here x1 plus 3 by 5 equal to x2 plus 3 by 5. Okay, it is possible because your x1 x2 belongs to set of non-negative real numbers. So because we don't have negative pre-images, so we can just directly we can take, no, if it a square equal to b square and a b both are non-negative, then we can write a equal to b. Okay, so it's like this. So you are getting x1 equal to x2. This implies f is 1 1. Okay, first part of the proof is over. I mean, it's 1 1 is over, then we have to prove it is on 2. So to prove function is on 2, so here we have to show range of the function equal to codomain of the function. Codomain is your, I mean, minus 9 infinity, where minus 9 is inclusive and of course infinity always exclusive. So you are having y equal to fx equal to 5x square plus 6x minus 9. It means, so like the previous question also, whenever we are given quadratic, we have to just write it as proper quadratic expression. So I have taken everything to one side. 5x square plus 6x minus 9 minus y equal to 0. This implies, yeah, so we can say this is quadratic in x. So here it implies x equal to minus b, means minus 6 plus minus under root b square is 36 minus 4a b square minus 4ac. C is minus of 9 plus y. So plus हो जाएगा 9 plus y divided by 2a 10. So minus 6 plus minus, here you see you are having 36 here. Okay, so you have 4 5, so you can take 4 outside, means you can get 2 outside. Okay, it will be 9 plus, so here you have, we have taken this 45 plus 5y divided by 10. Okay, and this is equal to, you can write here minus 3 plus minus under root 54 plus 5y divided by 5. Okay, so I hope you are clear, and please check the calculations. And also we have x belongs to set of non-negative real numbers. it means this minus 3 minus of this we will not take. Okay, so we will consider only one value. So considering one value, we have x equal to minus 3 plus under root 54 plus 5y divided by 5. Okay, or what we can write, x is under root 54 plus 5y minus 3 by 5. Okay, so this is our x. So we want to prove for what value of y, I mean this x will be defined. Range means set of all y. So let's find range here. So it means x belongs to set of non-negative real numbers, implies your 54 plus 5y under root this should be greater than 3. Okay, it should be greater than 3, right? Yes. So this quantity, this is already positive. So this thing we can concentrate. So it means you have, x cannot be, x can be 0 also. So it is greater than equal to this. So here you see 54 plus 5y greater than equal to 9. Okay, it means 5y greater than equal to minus 45. This implies y greater than equal to minus 9. So y greater than equal to minus 9 means your y belongs to minus 9 infinity. Minus 9 included because it is non-negative. I mean non-negative means it can be 0, right? So that's why you need to take this can be 0. So this can be equal to 3 also. So that's why we have taken this is greater than equal to 3. Okay, so y equal to this, so that it means range of the function is, you are getting range equal to minus 9 infinity, which is equal to codomain. So having range of f equal to minus 9 infinity, where minus 9, I mean it is left close, right open, and this is also your codomain of the function, range equal to codomain. It means f is on 2. Okay, so f is bijective, and as we know all the bijective functions are invertible. So if f is bijective, this implies your f inverse exists and x equal to f inverse y, that is equal to, what is x here, this quantity, under root 54 plus 5y minus of 3 divided by 5. Okay, so this makes the completion of the question. Okay, so you have two choices. If the question is very clearly written, it is invertible, you have two choices. Either you apply this method like prove that it is 1 1 1 2, it means bijective, then it is invertible, find f inverse, or directly straightforward you can go what is y equal to fx, then you get x, take that is equal to gy. So f of gy equal to y, g of fx equal to x. It means you are getting f of g of f are identity functions, so inverse of f will be g, right? And that is up to you. But if the question is specifically it is asked prove that it is bijective, then you don't have any choice, right? Prove that it is bijective means prove that function is 1 1 and on 2, then you can get f inverse. Okay, so now today's we are running out of time. Okay, so maybe next class we will take some more questions, and for today we have to wind up the class. So thank you so much. Please keep on practicing and ask me your doubts. Okay, So thank you so much.